Hello, my friends. Welcome to my sister's lounge room, my current office, and I want to talk about epiphanies. Not only epiphanies, but brand new, functional, effective ideas. What is an epiphany? A realization or a revelation that changes the course of your life. Dare I say, when I was thinking about making a video and a meditation for the Meditation Hub, I had an epiphany that I wanted to make it about an epiphany. And not only that, what do epiphanies have to do with stillness? Let's talk about thoughts in general first. Most people come to meditation or coaching, at least in my experience, because even if they don't know it, they have a problem with or a negative relationship with their thoughts and their thinking processes. They challenge or are challenged by their structures of thought, whether it's limiting self-beliefs or structures of resentment or guilt or shame, or whether there's emotional baggage from the past. Whatever the internal structures are, most people come to meditation or mentoring or coaching because there's some kind of challenge with their thoughts. And we think that if only I can get rid of thoughts altogether, I will be at peace. So we think thoughts are bad because it's thoughts that intrude upon our peace. And isn't it interesting that we have an inner knowing, an innate inner knowing that we deserve and demand peace? We know that Perth is our beast right. We know that peace is our birthright. We just know it. And so when we're not experiencing some level of peace, we feel discontent. We feel like, I know things should be different. So most people come and there's a negative association with thoughts. And I want to tell you something really interesting. For people that have been practicing meditation for quite some time and have been doing some kind of inner work, they've been committing themselves to the betterment of their self, psychology, mind, emotions, and spirit. At some point, there's a natural deconstructive process of the existing structures of thoughts in consciousness. And who they were starts to fall apart. Even if there's just temporary space. At some point, there's enough space and stillness that a brand new, spontaneous, highly effective thought structure can emerge. There's enough space and stillness for a brand new realization or revelation to emerge into your conscious awareness. What do we call that? An epiphany. Have you ever had one of those where a thought can change the entire trajectory of your freaking life? Have you ever had a thought or an idea or an epiphany or a realization or a revelation so significant that it changes the entire trajectory of your life? Have you ever had a realization that triggers healing? Whether it be about something you've been doing, something that was done, something that you want to undo, how to truly break a habit, what it means to forgive, how you can forgive. Have you ever had an epiphany that changes your life? And let's take it out of healing for a moment into productivity. Have you ever had a thought, epiphany, realization, revelation that changes the entire way you operate your business? You know, if I think back to when COVID hit and we were at a point, Hannah and I, everyone was telling us that businesses are failing left, right, and center. And I could so clearly see Hannah had an epiphany. Okay, we need to do this. We need to make this offering in our business. It needs to look exactly like this. And we did it, and things went better than ever. Things went better than ever. It was an epiphany. And that's the beautiful thing about epiphanies. When you follow through on the idea, more often than not, based upon my own experience and everyone I've talked to about epiphanies, those ideas not only prove fruitful, they become or prove to be so much better than anything we could have conjured or thought of on our own with our own limited thinking. It's like an idea comes through you from beyond you. Where that comes from, that's not necessarily the topic of this conversation. It's so interesting that when we have those experiences, we realize that thoughts, because epiphany is a thought, a type of thought. Thoughts, the very thing I spent so long resisting and demonizing, now have become the very thing that is changing the way I operate in the world. All this to say, thoughts aren't bad. The quality of our thinking is bad. Thoughts are beautiful, brilliant ways in which we construct our own experience of reality. Thoughts are the building block of the mind, and the mind is the very thing that gives us our unique experience of life. So, one thing I've noticed is that it is rare, but it can happen that you can be in your busy waking state with a turbulent, busy, distracted, and full mind. And sometimes an epiphany can be that relevant and that big and that loud that it can penetrate through the density of your busy, distracted mind. It can happen. Maybe you've had that before. But there is a way that we can make good ideas, even if we don't call them epiphanies, really good, effective ideas, something that we have on the reg. And that is through meditation. You see, when you are met with challenges, which I don't know if you've noticed, but this life is full of challenges. When you are met with challenges, if you try to bring your old mind into a new challenge, you end up just recreating the same situations and habits and problems over and over and over again. We end up maladapting to challenges and accumulating more stress in our nervous system. It's like the old us doesn't know how to adapt or meet new demands. So what I love, one of the many things I love about meditation is it literally takes us out of ourself. Like our mind, the way our minds are structured and programmed is a byproduct of the past. And when we meditate, we release accumulated stresses and we rest in a stillness and a quietness and a spaciousness that is transcendent of our usual mental ruminations and regurgitations. And that sense of stillness, that spaciousness, opens itself to spontaneous new thought structures to emerge that can meet the need of the moment. They can support us to meet the demands that exist right now with skill. The ability to presently and skillfully adapt to whatever life throws at us. We can't have those good ideas and those new behavioral approaches if we are stuck in the me I've always been. So we need a strategy to be able to step outside of ourselves and get ourselves to an open space from which very naturally creative intelligence can emerge and arise and bubble up, spring forth from within the very wellspring of consciousness. I've seen time and time again where we follow through on those ideas, and what could have taken a year worth of effort to produce certain results, or what could have taken years of trying to heal certain relationships, with a really effective course of action that's born out of a clear process of thinking, the same result can come around so much more effortlessly because it's driven by creative intelligence, that which exists at the core and source of who you are. I think your mind is so much more brilliant and capable than we often give ourselves credit for. So how do we tap into that? More stillness, to transcend and step outside of who we have been, to rest in the dormant potential that is existing now within the mind. So all of this to say that I love and am a huge advocate for meditation for so many reasons. And the improvement of our relationship to thinking is one of them. Not to see thinking as a curse, but to see thinking as an opportunity. To see thinking as the means by which I can construct a reality that mirrors what's true in my heart. That's one of the reasons I love meditation, and I'm an advocate for it. So along with this post on the Meditation Hub, I want to share a meditation, and so you'll see it below, an audio practice. And I want to guide you through a really, really simple process where you can experience at least a little bit of stillness. And the interesting thing with epiphanies and new thought constructs, they're not things we want to look for. But if we rest in stillness, maybe they'll come. And if not during the practice, maybe later when you're making a cup of tea or something like that. So just be aware and attuned to what you feel the impulse to move towards, but at least to have the technique or strategy through which you can have an experience of stillness and spaciousness. That's what I want to aim towards. So yeah, give the meditation practice a crack. In the meditation practice, it is me guiding you, the listener, into a state of stillness, relative state of stillness. What I'm more passionate about is actually teaching you to be able to meditate yourself. Because it's one thing to be guided, and I love doing that, but even more than that, I love teaching people to meditate. So do the practice, enjoy it for as long as you wish, and enjoy it as much as you would like. But if you're the type of person that wants to learn to meditate, so you can lead yourself into stillness and into meditation anytime, anywhere, without any app, without any music, without anything like that, then our course, aptly named Stillness, is available for beginner and intermediate practitioners of meditation to learn to meditate. So I'll put a link to that below as well, if that's you. All right. Go get practicing. Thanks for listening. And my most sincere hope is that at some point you can reverse the relationship with your thoughts so you no longer see them as a curse. They become a curse when we regurgitate and ruminate on the thoughts of yesterday and all the yesterdays and think that they're relevant now, or we just don't know how to step outside of them. Thoughts become a blessing when we have a spaciousness within which new and effective and spontaneous thought structures can emerge that directly relate to what you're facing in terms of opportunities and challenges in your life right now. So I hope that for you, you can reverse the relationship with thoughts and what they mean to you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here, and enjoy your meditation.